Man up. What does that mean? To increase the manly elements of one's activities and one's life in general. In other words, be a man. Make a decision. Don't be weak. If that's the case, I've had to man up from a very early age. My father left us when we were very young. My brother, myself, my two sisters. My mother trying to raise the four of us on her own through very difficult times. No money. She eventually had to make a very difficult decision. The decision to place us in foster homes where we spent many years. I didn't have a father to look up to. I didn't have that man figure. I had to make my own decisions. What I was going to do with my life. Once my brother, my sisters, and I were old enough, they moved out. I moved in with my grandparents. It wasn't long after I moved in with my grandparents that I got a job pumping gas. And it was shortly after that that I felt that my life was going nowhere. So I thought the best thing to do was to seek advice from the most intelligent person that I knew. That was my grandfather, Pepe. So one night when I got home, I asked Pepe, I said, what do I do with my life? It's going nowhere. I don't know what to do. I want to make something of myself. So my grandfather suggested I join the military. So I fought with that decision for a while. That's a big step for me. Going from doing everything I want to do, making my own decisions, to trying to learn to allow others to make my decisions for me, to tell me what to do. But ultimately, I made that decision to take that step. I did join the military. I joined the Coast Guard. But when I did join, my goal was to only serve 4 years, to do my time, to say I served my country. So, the second night in boot camp, I wanted nothing to do with it. I hated what I was doing. I didn't like people telling me what to do. I was used to making my own decisions, and that's the last thing I wanted. But I thought that if I decided to leave, would it disappoint my family? But most of all, would it disappoint myself that I made the wrong decision to leave instead of staying and being a man and sticking it out? So I made that decision to stay and push through. But it wasn't long after that, while still in boot camp, my grandfather passed away. The one man who I thought was the smartest person in the world, who gave me the advice to join the military. And then I thought, I don't want this. What do I have to prove now? I can't make him proud of me. He can't see me graduate. But then I faced that difficult decision again. Do I stay or do I go? And I made that decision to stay. A decision I'm very glad that I made. So once I got out of boot camp, 4 years later, I was faced with another decision. I did my 4 years. Do I go? I decided to stay. I retired after 23 years of military service. Met a wonderful woman who we've been together now for 13 years. We have 2 wonderful children together. She has 2 wonderful children from her previous marriage. Wonderful children who I consider my own. But looking back, when my father left, he did teach me one thing by his leaving. He taught me how not to be as a father. I teach myself every day, how would I have wanted him to be for me? This is how I'm going to be with my children. We sing songs every night before we go to sleep. We say prayers every night before we go to sleep. I want them to remember that. I want them to tell their children, this is what Grandpa used to do with us. And this is what I want to do with you. I loved my father. I want them to say, he did everything with us. He was always there for us. I want them to have the one thing I never had. That one person who should have been the biggest influence of my life, I will be for theirs. Thank you.